the second quarter. The ball at the 41. It'll be a 3rd down and 6 for the New Hampshire Wildcats at the Maine 41-yard line. Gene back to pass. Pettaway puts pressure on. The ball is up, and it is going to be incomplete. Oh, what pressure Pettaway put on Bobby Gene.
Very interesting situation there. The University of Maine blitzed 2 linebackers from the far side of the field. Gene is a 5-step drop-back quarterback. Count 4-5. He knows where he wants to go, to that wide receiver. They don't have that hut-back setup going to the tight end like Maine does, because he drops back 5 yards. They're betting that Maine's blitzing backs can't get there. Maine's blitzing linebackers indeed did.
And that ball he threw very high in the air, and it just floated, so he's going to have to make an adjustment now that he's going against the wind. Here's the punt. And it's going to roll inside the 15, down to about the 13-yard line, where it'll be down there. And the University of Maine defense holds again. And the offense takes over 1st and 10 at the Maine 12.
And just a thought about Pettaway, too. That's an adjustment by the Maine coaching staff, because they haven't been blitzing a lot in the recent games. And to see some blitzing shows that the coaches are trying a few things here differently this week.
Well, with New Hampshire off-balanced, they may be trying to just keep them off balance. The other way to look at it is you can get burned badly doing that. But with the wind so strong, they're going to throw it up. And into that wind, that's a tough throw to make.
So Buck has the wind to his back, 1st and 10 at his own 12-yard line. 7-0, Maine Black Bears leading. Buck back to pass. Looks down the middle, into the outside. He catches Hebra, gets away from one man. Over the 25, up near the 30-yard line where he's knocked out of bounds.
That's one thing about Serge Hebra that maybe sometimes goes unnoticed, is that not only can he catch the ball, but he's got some good moves as we take a look at it again here. Now watch him do a little turn. See that? Turn in, beat his man, and pick up another, what, 6 yards?
Yeah, he said last night that after he catches the ball, he's done, but that's not true.
No way.
Ball's at the 27, 1st down and 10 for the Black Bears. Pickup of 15 on the play. In motion, Vendito. Pitch back comes to Fox. Fox over the 30, 35, 40, and he's tripped up at about the 43-yard line.
Nice tackle there.
Gary Jordan, the free safety, came up and just got an arm on the knee of Fox, but a nice pickup up to the 42.
Watch this corner behind Ingles. There's a hole there. Jimmy Fox steps through it, and now it's just one-on-one. He's almost gone.
I'll tell you what, he isn't the fastest runner around, but boy, when he gets up ahead of steam, watch out.
1st and 10, Black Bears at their own 42, second straight 1st down. Fox is in motion. And back to pass is Buck, just a safety valve out to Fox, and flags all over the place. I think we're going to have a face mask.
They got a tremendous break because they set up a screen pass to the near side. Buck started to go to it, then changed his mind, and when he did, he exposed it. And New Hampshire standing in the middle of it, Fox would have been better off to have dropped this ball, except for the fact that they pull him down by the face mask. Watch this. And watch Mike Buck. There it is. He doesn't go to it. Now he goes to it. Well, look at the New Hampshire guys over here. Fox is done for, but look at that.
Doherty is there, and it's Kevin Doherty from Waterville, Maine, for New Hampshire, called with the face mask there.
Kevin's an outstanding football player, but in that front line of the University of New Hampshire, he's had a tough year because he's got such talented people beside him. They've been doubling up on the other guys, running at him. It's been a frustrating year for Kevin Doherty. He's a good football player.
The ball's at the 46, where it's 1st down and 5. Handoff to Jimmy Fox, left side over midfield, down inside New Hampshire territory to about the 47-yard line. Another 1st down for the Maine Black Bears.
And right now, I'd like to give some credit, if we can, to that Maine offensive line, because they're blowing some people out, creating some big holes. And we've got another New Hampshire player down on the field. Boy, this thing is taking its toll already.
Well, Maine has mixed it up very well. Here's a look. Counter inside. They pull their 2 guards. And here comes Fox stepping through the hole. Does a nice job right up on the butt of his blocker. That's where there's going to be the most space. And again, he takes what he's given. Tom Rogers leading the way for the University of Maine Black Bears right there. And Fox did it despite slipping at the beginning of the play.
And down on the ground for New Hampshire, either, I believe it's 66 or...
No, 66 is standing.
Okay.
We might as well wait to be sure. I've already guessed and guessed wrongly, and I feel badly about that.
But that Maine offensive line is really doing a number. It's number 92. Scott Curtis, their outstanding linebacker. He's saying, where am I right now?
Here's a look at the injury. He's coming in left to right in your screen.
It's his own man. He banged helmets with Gary Jordan, the free safety, so he got his bell rung.
I almost think Gary Jordan got up under his mask a little bit. Might be spitting some blood there or something.
Maine will have the ball at the New Hampshire 47-yard line. First down and 10. 7-0. The Black Bears leading the Wildcats in this big Yankee Conference matchup.
And another nice ball control drive.
An important drive here. They're getting the field position that they lost back.
And Buck wants to pass. Rolls to his right. Looking out here for Vendito. He has Vendito, but throws behind him and out of bounds.
He dumped it off. If he had another half second for that play to develop, that could have been 6, but he simply threw the ball away. We've got a flag down.
Another flag. Here's the play again. And watch number 98, Paul Boulay of New Hampshire, come up. There he is, the All-American honorable mention last year, chasing Buck. He threw it away.
I think we're going to have an offensive holding. No, a clip.
Offense, still first down.
Another gray hair for Tim Murphy.
That'll put the ball back inside the Maine 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll set up a first down and forever.
Last time one of those linemen set up a first down like this, it worked very well for the Bears. So.
If they're going to run that same play, let's look for Lanza, huh?
Mistakes have been important in this ball game. Maine has been able to overcome their one penalty as of now. The penalties have really hurt New Hampshire early, I think.
First down and 25 from the 38-yard line for the Black Bears. They're in the I formation, and it's Buck with the draw to Fox. Good running room. Fox over midfield. Fox getting down to about the 46. Another fumble. No indication yet who has it. The New Hampshire player has it, but there's still no indication whether that was a fumble after the whistle or not. We'll have to wait and see. I don't believe it was.
They whistled it dead indeed. Did a nice job.
Jimmy Fox getting back everything they lost in that penalty as he gets it back to the 46-yard line of New Hampshire, where it'll set up a second down and 10.
Looked like sprint draw that time, and he's just got to find the hole. It took a second for it to develop, but he did find it and did a nice job.
Ooh, look at that hit. Number 3, Ryan Jones comes up and jarred that ball loose.
Second and 10 from the 46. Fox right up the middle, and he's stacked up.
Fumble
and
again.
Another fumble.
New Hampshire's got it this time, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, they do.
Well, let's second guess, guys. I mean, Fox just took a heck of a hit. Of course, we saw it a lot better than the University of Maine coaching staff did. They saw it as a successful play. Came right back with something similar. There it is, trying to open up in the middle, but he runs right into the linebacker who knocks the ball loose.
66.
Strong safety Bill Farrell comes up with a fumble, so they'll have the ball at their own 44-yard line. First down and 10, 12:41 remaining here in the second quarter. New Hampshire goes to the offense. Bob Jean, the quarterback for the Wildcats. Pitch back to Urbanik on the right side. He's nailed and dropped by the entire Maine defense. Scott Nason led the charge. Left tackle, 6'5", 255-pound junior.
Now, I want to point out that number 71, Peter Rogalski, was not in on that tackle. That's probably the easiest way to call that one. Everybody else gets an assist. Peter Rogalski, by the way, has done a nice job at nose guard, and last week he kind of won Mark Lewis's starting job. Nice hit by Scott Nason up top, leading the Bear defense.
So it'll be second down and 11 for the New Hampshire Wildcats. The ball back at the 43-yard line. Jean back to pass. He's looking for Curtis Olds over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. Actually, it was Spittal cutting across from left to right, and Olds going right to left, but it didn't find anybody. It'll be a third and long, third and 11 for New Hampshire.
Maine did a nice job that time. Extra linebacker in the ball game. And Bob Jean, 1 for 10 for 12 yards. What an amazing statistic. And the good pass defense starts with a good pass rush. That time it was Peter Rogalski coming out of that nose guard job to pressure Bob Jean. If you've only got a second or two to throw it, you're not going to complete very many, and Bob Jean has not.
Third and 11 for New Hampshire. They go into the shotgun. Jean back at about the 36-yard line. In motion comes the tight end Spittle. We have whistles, all his motion, all over the place.
Maine, who was jumping on the far side, Scott Nason, and they're pointing at UNH. Let's see if they get their acting job done. Indeed they do. We'll back the Wildcats up 5 more yards. They're just plain out of sync.
Dead ball procedure. Gets White. Still third down.
All right. That puts the ball back now to the 30. about the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 15 for the Wildcats.
Referee Newton Whitaker, I think he's from southern Maine, judging from his accent.
Back to throw is Gene over the middle for Olds. It's tipped incomplete. Rob Sterling almost picked off that. It went off Olds' fingertips. Sterling came up quickly, but couldn't get to it. So it's 4th down and long. And boy, take your hats off to the UMaine defense this afternoon.
And Bobby Jean now 1 for 13 and walking off kind of disgusted there, I think, a little bit.
I think Maine's greatest strength on defense is his secondary. High snap.
Nate Baldessaro gets the kick away into the wind, and it holds it up, flattens it right up, but he gets a good bounce inside the 35 down to about the 33-yard line, where the Black Bears will take over.
Well, Maine's got field position back, and they've got the win. And right now, they're really in the driver's seat. One thing they really need to do is get some points here in the second period. Maine's total offense, not quite as great as New Hampshire, just 7 yards separating the two, but look at the difference. It has been defense. New Hampshire holding teams to about 127 or 8 yards less than Maine. Today, it's been the other way around.
1st and 10 for the Black Bears at their own 33-yard line. Pitch back comes to Fox, trying the right side. He gets out to about the 35.
Scott Curtis tripped him up, number 92.
New Hampshire did an excellent job that time reacting to that play. Fox has been able to slant through a couple of holes, but Maine wasn't able to get much there.
And it isn't an interesting, Bill, after the two loose balls by Fox, they give it right back to him and say, here, Jimmy, go take it again. Just hang on to it. Don't get down. Don't lose your confidence. Let's keep moving.
They also got the secondary up. Let's see if they try to stretch him here with something on top.
2nd down and a long 8 from the 35. Buck looks up the middle, finds Lanza at the 41. He's hit, drops there, shy of the 1st down. Coming up quickly to make that tackle, Scott Curtis, the linebacker. They're going to spot the ball. Gave his forward motion just over the 40. We'll call it the 41, setting up a 3rd and 3.
Another example of the Bears taking what they're given. There's just no way that they can get up on top, and they're taking the curls and hooks underneath, and the tight ends will play a big role unless something changes here as Maine tries to drive it down the field.
3rd and 3 from the 41-yard line for the Black Bears. Buck with a draw again to Fox, but no surprise there. Scott Curtis was all over Jimmy Fox. Deep in the backfield, it'll set up a 4th down or punting situation for the Black Bears.
New Hampshire's blitz, and Maine was going with sprint draw, but they got shut down.
And Curtis is impressive, isn't he? 78 tackles at the start of this day, the team leader in tackles, and boy, he just come in and gave him the old bear hug.
Well, Steve Bell will be punting with the wind to his back for the first time. It'll be Tom Joy and Dan Smith back at about the 32, and Bell gets off a nice kick. It's low, doesn't give much time to get down there, and it's a good run back. That's Tommy Joy's breaking to the outside, gets by Bell. At the 30, at the 25, one man to beat. He's brought down. At the 20, there's a fumble on the play, but New Hampshire will keep control of the ball. A nice run back. It was a low kick, so the Maine defenders couldn't get down there quick enough, and Joy took advantage of it, broke to the outside.
Now watch this kick. High snap, messes up the timing of the play. The kick does not spiral. It carries well because of the wind, but look how he catches the ball. It's a quick kick almost. He catches it on the run, and it's off to the races. Maine had a real good job done by number 36 who ran this man down.
And keep an eye on number 43 in white, because I think Gary Jordan comes in and scoops up the loose ball at the end. Let's see. 43.
Boy, it is on the ground, too.
There it is.
A loose ball.
There it is. No, 90. 90 drops in on that. And that is...
That was Nick Penn, the linebacker, who made such an exceptional play at the end of it there, or that would have been a touchdown for the Wildcats. And that's the big play that New Hampshire's been looking for. They've been down, they've been flat. One man to beat, Nick Penna. And Penna knocks the man down, knocks the ball loose, but they didn't get the fumble.
So New Hampshire will have the ball 1st and 10 at their Maine 21, and we'll be back with the action right after this.
Levinsky's has lower prices on winter boots for the whole family, like Chippewa, Herman Survivors, Sorella.
Back live with UMaine football on the Maine broadcasting system. It's 2nd down and 9 for New Hampshire. Noam Ford back in the ballgame for the first time, picked up 1 yard, but he's limping noticeably. Goes to Ford, he stumbles, tries to get to the outside. He's met head on, cut away, just inside joined there by Morrison.
And I'll tell you what, I think we've got the word on Ford. Watch him limp,
yeah.
Bill.
Yes.
He's not 90%, he's 60%.
No question about that. That's loose footing right there, but he is limping noticeably in between plays. Another thing Bill Bowes did, he got the big lift from the kick, and then in comes their big man, Ford. That's an emotional lift right here. Bill Bowes trying to make the hit to get back into this ball game.
Ford limps off the field, so he is not ready to play this afternoon. 3rd down and 9 at the 20-yard line for the Wildcats of New Hampshire. Gene rolls to his right side. He finds Olds over the middle. It's complete, and he's wrapped up immediately at the 5-yard line. Olds, a simple down and in pattern at the 5-yard line. He was all alone. Sterling wrapped him up, but New Hampshire will have it 1st and goal at the Maine 5.
And you just saw Bobby Jean there saying, all right, now finally I got my rhythm back a little bit. Here he goes, Bill.
Indeed. Ran a little curl. They ran a square out under him, and there were only 2 men over there, and the Maine secondary did not react real well to that play. 1st down, New Hampshire, 1st down in goal.
At the 5-yard line, the pitch comes to Urbanik left side, breaks one tackle, gets down inside the 4 to about the 3-yard line. Again, Rod Sterling up to make the tackle. He's joined there by Nick Penna and Keith James.
Let's remember again that this whole drive was started by the special teams play, the big break, the big run. And that's one thing that Tim Murphy, if anything else, has been more disappointed in his special teams play all year. They've worked on it and worked on it and worked on it, and it's hurt him right here. Let's see if it hurts him really bad.
2nd and goal from the 3. Backs go to the I formation with the D-back Urbanik. Banbury the fullback. And we're going to have some motion.
Spittal left tight end, the tight end, I guess, for the University of New Hampshire on the left side, jumping off sides, and that's going to back them up 5. And that is a big mistake if they are not able to overcome it and score.
Illegal procedure is the call, and there it was, right there, Spittle. Good call, you picked that up well, Bill.
Well, he fell down. It made it easy.
2nd down.
Yeah, you're right. He is from Southern Maine, Bill. That's a Southern accent.
No doubt about it. All right, so the ball will come back out now to about the 7-yard line. Closer to the 8, where it'll still be 2nd and goal. We'll call it the 8, 2nd and goal for the Wildcats of New Hampshire, trailing 7-0. 7:19 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Back shift out of the I formation.
Here.
Gene fires over to Spittle at the 3. He's nailed. Well, tight end Rob Spittle gets back that yardage that he caused with the offsides. The ball down at the, I think we're going to call it the 2-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and goal.
You can look at Spittle and tell that he's a little bit frustrated, but the University of New Hampshire coaching staff is very high on this man. I'm surprised he wasn't able to get it in there. The Maine defensive secondary, a good job keeping him short of the goal line. That could have been 6 right there.
3rd and goal from the 2. Urbanik left side, nowhere! Oh, what a tackle! That was Joe Trefethen. Urbanik was nailed back at the 4-yard line. A big play, big defensive play by linebacker Joe Trefethen.
And I'll tell you what, he's a great story, too. He's a kid from Orono, Maine, had serious shoulder problems, worked out all during the summer to get that shoulder back. He came back the first week of preseason, hurt it again. He's wearing a shoulder brace to help not injure that shoulder anymore, and he's one tough kid. 48 tackles on the year, and that was a big one.
It'll be a field goal. The ball will be at about the 10-yard line, and it'll be Facey with the kick. Remember, it's into the wind. The kick is up, and it is no.
It's blocked.
Out to the left, and what a big play by the UMaine defense. Facey kicking into that wind. I didn't see who blocked it.
It was blocked by somebody on the right side of the Maine's defensive line as they rush. Very significant play by Trefethen there, because let's watch, see if we can see who gets a hand on it. Right there. Who's the man up in the air?
22?
No, I don't think so. I thought it was a 6 on the end. Is it 36 in there? Was it Nick Penna maybe going up?
If it's 36 is Penna, yeah, it's tough to see.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, someone up there.
71.
Number 86.
86.
Everybody blocking. Anyway, Maine has it 1st and 10 at their own 20. Back to passes Buck. He's got pressure. Fires over the middle for Sergio Hebra at about the 22-yard line. Pickup of only 2. The big story about that is the fact that the New Hampshire got the ball down to the 2-yard line and came away with no points.
Here's the replay. Here they come, too. New Hampshire able to pressure Mike Buck there, and he unloaded it quickly. Trefethen's big hit, though, made New Hampshire kick a field goal. They didn't get 2 cracks at it down there. That's a very significant play. They couldn't fake the field goal. They couldn't go for a touchdown. They had to try to take it.
2nd and 7 from the 23 for the Maine Black Bears. 5:10 remaining. Buck back to pass again. He doesn't find anyone. He's going to scramble. He's at the 25, up in at about the 28-yard line.
6 went at him.
That's T.J. Reap, 5'11", 210-pound freshman.
By the way, 86 Russ Constantino got that ball, got the block.
That's significant, although Trefethen's hit enabled Maine to keep the lead regardless. And it also took New Hampshire back to a situation where they weren't able to try another crack at tying this football game. Right there, Mike Buck showing what he does very well. Dale, I believe you said he's only been sacked 3 times this year. He scrambled and turned what could have been a 6-yard loss to a 6-yard gain. 3rd down, though, right here.
3rd and 1 for the Bears. Ball at the 29. And it's Dorsey with a 1 and more. He gets out over the 30 up to about the 34-yard line. That Dorsey finding just little holes to sneak through, and he's a real elusive little runner and hard to bring down. He gets it out to the 34. Another University of Maine first down.
He's a very compact, very compact runner is Dorsey, 5'9", 180, low to the ground, I think, and that helps him in that case.
I think he's being utilized today because Maine's big play has been taken away from them. They have not had a big play, not even close to a big play, and they've gone to the more conservative stuff, and Dorsey plays a big role in it.
1st and 10 at the 34. Fake handoff to Dorsey, back to pass. Is Buck. He's looking out here for Hebra. Incomplete. Overthrow him at about the 45-yard line. Coming up quick to make the tackle was Ryan Jones on the coverage. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 for the Bears at the 34.
What's going to be Maine's all-time leading thrower, Mike Buck, looking for its all-time leading receiver, Sergio Hebra. They almost got it. Good defense, and just an incompletion.
And 4 times this year, Mike Buck's been the player of the week. And folks, he's got 2 years left after this year.
2nd and 10 from the 34. Again, Buck to throw. Goes out the left side to fullback. Gets up over the 35 to about the 36-yard line. That's Darryl DeLuca.
Ray Wood, isn't it?
Excuse me, 45, Ray Wood. The ball, modest pickup of about 2.5 yards. It'll set up 3rd and long for the Bears at the 37-yard line.
I remember Ray Wood specifically from that Connecticut game when they were coming back. He caught the 2-point conversion play, and oh boy, that set Alumni Field on fire.
Quick snap on a 3rd down, fire over the middle, intended for Tony Lanza, goes incomplete, so Maine will have to kick the ball away. 3 minutes, 9 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter, and the Black Bears holding on to a 7-0 lead.
Good football game. Not high scoring at all, as I might have suspected, but the defenses have done a nice job. 2 big plays, the punt return, which took the wind away from Maine, and the goal line stand, which took the tie away from New Hampshire.
And Tim Murphy said at the beginning of the week, championships are won by defense. And isn't it interesting?
Kick. End over end, and Tom Joy makes the catch at the 28. Doesn't get much running on this time, but he's still on his feet as he gets out over the 35, up to about the 39.
There's some bodies flying out there. They say football games are won by angry young men, and there's some emotion being built up on that football field right now. If they're hitting is by what we judge the emotion.
And New Hampshire, remember, has a little bit of a revenge factor, if you will, today, because for the past 2 years, New Hampshire's been in position to go to the playoffs. They come down at the end of the year, and Maine has beaten. Last year, 14-13. The year before, 45-40. And there's Tom Joy. We've got a new quarterback in there? No.
I also think that it's fair to say that Maine's been very fortunate against New Hampshire over the years, all the way back to the bat ball play where Maine tied them 7-7 on a trick play by Jack Bicknell. New Hampshire generally favored in this game. If there is a difference between this year and the last 2 seasons, it's that New Hampshire has been hurt the last 2 years. They've not been sound. This year they're healthy, with the one big notable exception coming into this ball game. And they're a good football team.
It's just that offensively, so far, they just have not been clicking on all cylinders. That last drive got them down their ways, and they looked better. It looked like they were getting it in gear a little bit better. Let's see what Gene can do this time.
First and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 41. They got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to put something on the board before halftime. Back shift into the I formation. The deep back is Urbanik.
Here goes.
And now we're going to have motion again. I think this time it might go against the University of Maine, however. Let's see what... Offsides against the Black Bears. So that'll set up a 2nd and 5 for New Hampshire. The ball comes out over the 45.
Encroachment, defense. First down and 5.
First and 5 from the 46.
New Hampshire's been using a lot of long counts, etc., trying to slow the Bears down a little bit, and that 5-yard penalty might do more than just hurt them 5 yards.
Gene with a quick help to Olds at the 45, on his feet over 50 into Maine territory at the 49, where Todd Petaway brings him down from behind.
Petaway, a nice open field tackle again. He's been impressive, hasn't he? Just a freshman, remember.
He's a good football player. He went out and grabbed him and pulled him down, and that's been something that Maine has not been able to do over the years. They haven't been able to contain the great speed on the outside, and Petaway is very impressive indeed.
We should also point out, and speaking of good secondary people and young people, Steve Luke is just a freshman. He's back there. Keith James is a junior. Sterling will be gone after this year, but Jamal Williamson, who was a freshman this year, will be back. So Maine will have plenty of speed and another year's experience next year in that secondary, too. So they're getting great game experience, these freshmen, and you can't beat that.
So the ball is inside Maine territory at about the 48-yard line, where it'll be first and 10 for the Wildcats.
Back it up. I want to pick. Withdraw.
Bobby Jean with the single, hands off to Urbanik. Urbanik is coming to the ground again. This time it's Joe Trefevin. He got a yard, maybe 2. He paid dearly for it.
He runs into the hole, though.
Boy, those linebackers of Maine are coming up quick and hitting hard today. And now we have an official's timeout. The ball will be spotted at the 47. We'll be back with more football action right after this.
Some people may think Joe and I are vegetarians.
While we were away, Urbanik made this nice run right up the middle, breaking several tackles to give them another first down at the Maine 39-yard line.
Back line.
Now Gene rolls to the right side, fires out here for Braun, and he drops it. Oh, no, he catches it and goes out of bounds just outside the 25-yard line.
Stops the clock with 1:08 to go before halftime and another first down.
Big point. New Hampshire's got no timeouts left.
You mentioned in case something happened just before halftime, this is where they wish they might have had a couple now instead of playing for the win in the first quarter.
Here it is again. Gene, all alone out there is Braun. He's their leading catcher with 40 of them so far this year.
At the 26, to pass, incomplete, intended for Olds at the 15-yard line. Gene rolling to his left side. It'll be second down and 10 at the 26 for the Wildcats.
Well, you can tell by the way that Gene is bouncing around back there that he's starting to feel a little bit better about the way things are going. They threw a couple of simple passes, that pass out into the flats for one, got a couple of completions and getting going, and their pass offense seems to be clicking a little bit, starting to synchronize.
Picking up just a little bit. You can see it each drive.
Second down and 10 for the Wildcats at the Maine 26. Gene again rolls to his left side. He fires out here for Braun. Incomplete. Threw it right out of bounds. He's having a bad day passing. Third down and 10 for New Hampshire.
Well, I think that's a situation where he felt that there wasn't anything there and he just got rid of it and saved the time. They got 2 more throws here unless they want to try a 50-yarder into the win or a 42-yarder into the win. Maybe they will. I doubt it.
58 seconds remaining.
And it's kind of interesting because Gene came into the game at 59% for the year, and he just has been kind of struggling. Just hasn't been with it.
Third down and 10 from the 26-yard line for the Wildcats of New Hampshire. Going upstairs again. He drops back, fires a little quick out to Urbanik. Urbanik gets away from one man. Urbanik on his feet, knocked out of bounds. There was a flag on the play.
Uh-oh.
And And they're going to call a clip. I believe the preliminary signal is going to be a clip against the New Hampshire Wildcats.
That's the kind of thing that has really hurt this football team. They would have had the first down, and that's really what they needed. They had 2 more cracks at a first down. See if we can see the clip. I don't see it.
No.
Regardless, the referees did.
Offense, still 3rd down.
So that takes them back out to about the 33, 34-yard line. We'll call it the 33, where it'll be a 3rd down.
Oh, number 10 on Maine going down there. Yes, indeed.
Oh, I see.
Seven
Oh, right
Curtis
from behind.
Olds
Yep.
coming
Yep.
from the top. That's right.
Get him from behind there.
So 3rd down and about 18 for New Hampshire with 36 seconds remaining. 35, the clock on the move. Gene back to pass. He's throwing deep for Curtis Olds in the end zone, and it is knocked down. A beautiful play by Maine.
And boy, I'll tell you what, there looked like some contact on that
I
play.
thought it was offensive pass interference. I thought he came right over the top of the Maine defensive back, Steve Luke, number 10.
That's what Stevie's hollering the official about. I think
Yeah.
I'd love to see that, because I think that's exactly what happened.
Hey, and he almost got away with it. And why not give it a try? You got 20 seconds here. You're standing in the end zone with a chance to tie the game. Watch him. Look at those hands.
Look at that. Look at that.
Luke did a good job, because if he falls down, that kid catches it, this ball game's tied. Curtis Olds catches it, this ball game's tied.
4th down and 18 for the Wildcats with 23 seconds remaining. Gene is going deep. He's got Braun in the end zone, intercepted by Keith James, and he goes to the ground. Keith James with a big interception, and the Wildcats are stopped one more time by the big play Maine defense.
Well, Keith James did a really nice job with that ball, but was it Northeastern where they intercepted the ball just before half, laid it on the ground? Northeastern recovered the fumble in the end zone. That was the eventual game winner. And Keith James, after he caught the ball, I would have felt a lot more comfortable about it. But see, he's playing center field. He comes over to help out. He's got it all the way. All right, now squeeze that ball and come down. Don't run with it, Keith.
Yeah,
You're
go
making
down.
me nervous.
Go down.
But he got the job done, and the Bears will just run out the clock now on the rest of the first half.
14 seconds remaining. New Hampshire can't stop it, and that's the way this first half will end.
And we said that Maine's defense had to come up big today, and so far they have come up big. They've made the big plays.
And in fact, the New Hampshire defense has come up equally big, with the exception of the 7 points, because Maine had a chance right there to put a couple on the board with the win. It'd be 21-0. New Hampshire would be out of it. The New Hampshire defense has played outstandingly so far today.
So the first half ends with the UMaine Black Bears holding a 7-0 lead over the New Hampshire Wildcats. Stay tuned now for the halftime show and Rich Kimball.
Well, good afternoon again. We're back with the Kickoff 87 halftime report. Game you're watching, Maine and New Hampshire. The score, 7-0 Black Bears. There's a lot of action on the high school football and soccer fields around the state. Playoffs are underway, and let's check the scoreboard right now, where Biddeford holding a 21-0 lead over South Portland. Let's go to Waterman Stadium, where the Biddeford Tigers are in a battle with those South Portland Red Riots. A bad snap for South Portland set Biddeford up deep in Red Riot territory. A big defensive play here, and that led to a touchdown. A 4-yard run here for the Tigers fullback, Carl Woodward. That put Biddeford on top, and our score is 21-0 after Biddeford jumped out with that early touchdown. Elsewhere on the scoreboard this afternoon, Oxford Hills and Mount Blue going at it. We have no score in that one this afternoon. They are at the half. And other scores, Stearns and Messalonsky. That's a big one in the Class B East. At halftime, Stearns with the lead 7-6. And other scores from the day, Madison and Old Orchard beat a Class C playoff game, a 14-0 lead for Madison. Here's a surprise. Marshwood trying for 46 consecutive victories this afternoon. They're in the second quarter, and Wells with a lead of 18-0 in that one. We hope to have further updates for you on that one this afternoon. It's been a busy day in soccer as well. We have some updates on the standings there in the games of this afternoon. Mount Ararat and Cape Elizabeth got together this morning. They were playing in the boys' championship game, and no scoring on that one. But we do have a score from Lincoln Academy and Ellsworth. A 4-3 victory this morning. Didn't start out well, though, for Lincoln Academy. Ellsworth got on the board, and Earl Awalt's goal there made it 2-0 after Richie Graves got Ellsworth on the scoreboard. But Lincoln Academy was to come back in this one with some late scores, and with 5 seconds left in the game, Luke Houghton scored to make it a 4-3 win for Lincoln Academy. The Eagles capture the Class B state championship crown. One final in girls soccer today as well. The state Class A championship, Mount Ararat and Gorham. Mount Ararat got the goal, and it turned out to be the only one they needed. The final score, Mount Ararat with a 1-0 win over Gorham today. They capture the girls' Class A crown. Now, when we come back, we'll have highlights from the first half of the UMaine New Hampshire game. The score at the half is Maine 7, New Hampshire nothing. We'll be right back.
Some people may think.
Well, what a first half at Fitzpatrick Stadium as the Maine Blackberries and the Wildcats of New Hampshire got together. It's been exciting, and defense has been the rule. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. New Hampshire was driving early in Maine territory. A bad snap. Quarterback Bob Jean lost the ball, fell on it, and recovered it himself. But the Wildcats were forced to punt the ball away, and that led to good field position for the Black Bears. From there, Mike Buck, after the penalty, looks to the end zone. Number 85, Tony Lanza with a touchdown from 14 yards out. The extra point by Peter Bjorgestad, and the Maine Black Bears were on top by a score of 7-0. Watch number 30, Joe Trefethen, the linebacker from Orono, Maine, with a big defensive play on 3rd and 2. Field goal attempt following that, no good by Eric Facey. Maine got a hand on it. The Black Bears still led 7-0. Late in the first half, New Hampshire had another drive going, and it was again the Black Bears defense that turned in the key play.
He's going deep. He's got
Keith James in the end zone with a big interception for the Black Bears, and that wound up the first half. The Maine defense, much maligned the last 3 games, but they've come back strong with a big first half performance to shut down the Wildcats, the #1 offensive team in the Yankee Conference. Some other college games are going on around the nation today. Let's take a look at some of the scores. In the first, Syracuse, number 8 in the country for Old Town's Dick McPherson. They're leading Navy by a score of 7-0. Syracuse Orangemen unbeaten. Boston College under Jack Bicknell, the former Maine coach, leading number 9 Notre Dame by a score of 17-6. That's at the half. A second quarter score finds number 10 Georgia leading 17th ranked Florida by a score of 10-3. And in the second quarter, Michigan State 21-0 over the Boilermakers of Purdue. When we come back, we'll profile one of the players who has really helped Maine become an outstanding team this year, receiver Sergio Hebra. Well, some other college scores to catch up for right now for you. In the Ivy League, Columbia has a 10-9 lead over Dartmouth College. Former Maine coach Buddy Stevens, of course, the head man at Dartmouth this year. Delaware with a halftime lead over the University of Connecticut. That one is 10-6. Pitt is leading Rutgers 17-0 at the half. Colgate 19-0 over Princeton. Steve Tosich, a former assistant to the late Ron Rogerson at Maine, is the head coach at Princeton. And at the half, number 16, Penn State is leading Maryland by a score of 7-6. At the University of Maine, New Hampshire game, it's a good one. 7-0 is the score at halftime. One of the key cogs to Maine all year has been receiver Sergio Hebra. He'll be leaving Maine with almost every pass-catching record. Not bad for a guy who was a walk-on player just 4 years ago. Dale Duff profiles Maine's top receiver.
Sergio Hebra was only 3.5 when his family fled Cuba back in 1967. Who would have known then that Serge would one day own most every pass-receiving record at the University of Maine? It isn't just the number of catches or the number of yards. It's the type of catches, like this one against Delaware last week.
I think it's kind of nice for a quarterback to realize that, you might have a couple receivers out there, that made the tough catch, and, he can go to them no matter what.
I'll say time and time again, first with Bob Wilder, now with Mike Buck. When a pass needs to be completed, Sergio Hebra is there.
People ask me, is he the best receiver in the league? I hate to go out on a limb and always say, yeah, this kid's the best receiver, but I'll tell you this much. There's not a receiver anywhere in the country that we would trade for. He came here basically unrecruited as a walk-on defensive back. No one knew about him out of Nashville, New Hampshire, and you look at him now, how far he's come. He's just a tremendous kid. He's a lot of fun to be around, and if you don't know Serge Hebra, you're missing something.
At 5'11" and 185 pounds, Hebra is not the biggest or fastest receiver around, but oh, those hands.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's the hands. I've always worked on that. A couple moves to get open, and just as far as the ball being in the air, I want to come down with it. So it's just a lot of concentration, too.
When he's done catching passes at Maine, Hebra says he wants to go into law enforcement work. it would be a crime if some NFL team doesn't give him a tryout first.
All right, thanks very much, Dale. Let's update you again on some of the high school scores. It's a big playoff day around the state of Maine. South Portland and Biddeford are going at it today. Again, they are at the half. The Biddeford Tigers of Coach Mike Landry on top by a score of 21-0. Portland and Lewiston at it, no score in that one yet. We do have an update on Oxford Hills and Mount Blue. They are into the second half. No score in that important Pine Tree Conference matchup. Wells and Marshwood, a big playoff game today. Marshwood has not lost since September of 1983, a 45-game winning streak that started when they beat Wells. But guess what? The Warriors are trying to end that streak today, an 18-0 lead in the halftime period. Stearns and Messalonsky, this is a big one, a rematch of a week ago. Stearns came from behind to win. Today they lead it at the half, 7-6. The winner goes to the Class B championship game next week. And Madison is out in front of Old Orchard Beach. By the way, Old Orchard and Madison have played a number of times over the last few years with some big games. And Madison is trying to come back today with a win, leading at last report. On to soccer. Let's go to the boys' activity today. State championship games. Mount Ararat playing Cape Elizabeth, and no scoring in that one. That started at about 1:30. We hope to get an update for you later. Lincoln Academy and Ellsworth met today. They played up at Pittsfield. Ellsworth got off to the early lead, but the Eagles of Lincoln Academy, first year as a varsity team, they've come back to take a late 4-3 win on a goal with 5 seconds left by Luke Houghton. The other championship game today in boys Class C between St. Dom's and Ashland. That one, of course, still underway. In the girls' ranks, Mount Ararat got the only goal of the game. They beat the Gorham Rams by a score of 1-0. Mount Ararat finishes the year with a perfect record, 18 wins and no losses. Lincoln Academy is at Holton in the Class B game today, and Katahdin of Sherman Station taking on the Cobras of Carabec in the state Class C championship. We're back with more Kickoff 87 at halftime. Our score is Maine 7 and New Hampshire nothing. We'll return. Our folks behind the scenes are busy rounding up scores, and we've got another high school game to update for you. At the half, Lewiston in that big Class A playoff game has gone ahead of Portland by a score of 8-0. At our game this afternoon, the big one, New Hampshire and Maine, got a great second half coming up for you, 7-0. The Black Bears lead the Wildcats, and let's take it back to our crew at Fitzpatrick Stadium.
Back live at James J. Fitzpatrick Stadium in Portland. I'm Bruce Glacier along with Bill Green and Dale Duff. There you see the score. The UMaine Black Bears holding a 7-0 lead over the University of New Hampshire Wildcats.
That's the University of Maine Black Bear Marching Band under the direction of Fred Heath, Eric Johnston of Orono, and Joel Nettle of Orono, and Eric Johnston of West Newburyport, Massachusetts, the drum majors, as they entertain the halftime crowd. Well, the crowd at halftime, it's diminished a little bit. A lot of people have vanished for some hot coffee. An important first half for the Maine Black Bears, you know, and I've been so much into who's going to win and lose this football game that I've not stopped to think that if the Bears can hold this lead, they're going to be co-Yankee Conference champions about an hour from now. That's big. Imagine the emotion in their locker room.
A guaranteed share of the title for a win today. Okay, let's start with the highlights from the first half. This is the only score of the game here. Mike Buck finds Tony Lanza. He's wide open for the only score of the game.
Late in the first half, this was an interception which pretty much ended the first half. Really pretty much throwing it up and playing, that's Chris Braun, and Keith James playing center field for the Bears. He had this one all the way. Goes high in the sky, grabs the ball, and that averted a last-minute New Hampshire drive, which could have tied this football game. Maine leading at 7-0. Bruce, what are your thoughts in the first half?
Well, I think the big play right now is the punt return that New Hampshire got it deep into Maine territory, and they brought it all the way down to the 3-yard line, and they wound up with a great tackle by Droge for Feather, and they had to go to the field goal. The field goal was blocked, and New Hampshire came away with absolutely nothing.
And as you look at the first half stats, Maine leading the way on most everything, and that total yardage, I think, is probably the biggest thing to look at, along with the passing, of course. Maine has held New Hampshire to just 107 yards. Keep in mind, over the last 3 weeks, Maine's defense has given up 455 yards. So give a big pat on the back to the Maine defense for giving up just 107 yards. And Mike Buck has thrown for 115 yards. There's nothing new there. And the stats tell the story, and they're up by 7 points. It isn't much, but it's enough right now.
Now New Hampshire is going to receive and they'll be going into the wind, so New Hampshire will have the wind at their back in the final period. Maine will have the wind here in the third period, and that the wind is going to play a factor. It's blowing quite, I'd say 15, maybe 20, 25 knots at times from left to right.
On a day like this where the wind is such a significant factor, I would want the wind very much in the fourth period. Two schools of thought on it. If Maine can score a couple of here and hold New Hampshire, there isn't going to be a great fourth quarter. On the other hand, it's going to be a very significant factor. The team with the wind will probably have the momentum during most of the fourth quarter, and I think New Hampshire has the best of both worlds right now. They get the ball to start the second half, and they're going to have the wind in the fourth quarter.
Deep end for the Wildcats. Number 30, Danny Smith, the near back, and the far back on the far side of the field, number 47, Tommy Joy, a freshman who broke that big punt return that wound up in the blocked field goal attempt. Maine will be kicking off from the 35-yard line. It'll be Mike Pettit of Biddeford, Maine, doing the kicking.
And of course, Mike will long be known for that great onside kick against Connecticut. He just joined the team, I think, 3 or 4 days earlier, and was called on to make that onside kick in the big comeback win over Connecticut up at Orono, and he did the job. Maine recovered.
And the wind again blows the ball off the tee.
He came to Maine to play football and then decided, he walked on as a football player, then decided he wanted to play baseball. And then, after not having great luck with the baseball program, came back to the football team in the middle of the season.
And one of the things I should point out, the reason why Pettit's kicking and not Peter Borgeset had been doing a lot of the kicking, but Tim Murphy and the staff just felt that they were not getting enough depth on those kickoffs, and they wanted somebody to try to kick that ball just a little bit deeper, and Pettit's been the answer.
Good chance right here with the wind. Here we go.
And the second half is underway, and it's a good high end-over-end kick taken by Smith at the 10-yard line to the 15. It's a fake reverse. Smith holds it, goes to the right side, breaks one tackle, gets up over the 25, close to the 30, about the 28-yard line, where the Wildcats will go to the offense. First down and 10.
And let's keep an eye and see if Mr. Ford enters the game or not. Number 35 for New Hampshire. He was in for, I think, just one play, wasn't it? 2 plays?
2 plays.
Urbanik is in.
They said he was 90%, but it's consensus here he was 90% injured.
Connie Chung in New York.
Good afternoon. In just a few moments, Douglas Ginsburg is expected to announce he is withdrawing his name as President Reagan's nominee to the Supreme Court. Let us go now live to the White House, where White House spokesman Marlon Fitzwater is, I believe, was about to introduce Justice Ginsburg. Well, we will come back to that in just a moment. Chris Wallace is there, and I'll be talking with him in just a minute. Ginsburg had admitted Thursday that he had smoked marijuana in the 60s and as recently as 1979 while he was a professor of Harvard Law School. And yesterday, Education Secretary William Bennett called Ginsburg and urged him to withdraw his name. President Reagan, who had earlier indicated he would stand by his nominee, said in an interview yesterday that he might not have chosen Ginsburg had he known about the marijuana use. And Ginsburg's support among conservatives on Capitol Hill was beginning to erode. His supporters became his detractors. And liberals, oddly enough, were defending his marijuana use, calling it irrelevant, most of them, but still critical of the extent of his qualifications, his experience. White House correspondent Chris Wallace is there now. Chris, what can you tell us?
Well, we're told that at 2:55, Connie, that Judge Ginsburg will come out and make a written, will read a statement in which he will announce that he is withdrawing his nomination to the Supreme Court. He has been here at the White House for the last 15 or 20 minutes going over language with White House officials, and it is, of course, reminiscent of that time about a month ago when Judge Bohr came here on a Friday afternoon to say that he was going to stay in the contest here in the White House briefing room. So we do expect that in about 6 minutes from now. We are told that Judge Ginsburg called the president at Camp David at 11:30 this morning and asked that his nomination be withdrawn. This came after just a steady drum roll in the last 44 hours of demands from conservatives, especially that Ginsburg withdraw after the revelation that he had indeed smoked marijuana in the 1960s and 70s. White House and administration officials tell NBC News that the new front-runner for the job, the new front-runner to replace Justice Powell as the Supreme Court Justice, is federal Judge Anthony Kennedy. Kennedy, as you may remember, was one of the 2 final candidates along with Ginsburg, and the president chose 9 days ago. It's amazing it happened so quickly. Just 9 days ago, chose Ginsburg over Kennedy. We're told that at this point, Kennedy is now the front runner for the job.
He's got to try to sustain something down here, get the Bears up at least a couple of touchdowns entering that fourth period.
1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Wood and Fox, the running backs, and it's a pitch to Fox. Coming to the right side, cuts inside, gets up to about the 39, where he's tripped up.
Tripped up by Basil Jarostchuk.
Basil did a good job on that one, I'll tell you. Looked like Fox could turn it inside and make a healthy gain, and Basil was able to knock his feet out from under him as he made his cut.
Pickup of a long 3, call it 2nd and 7. Talk about Buck throwing to the wind of the back, the way he can throw anyway without the wind. He could throw it into Deering Oaks right across the street.
That doesn't help him.
No, it doesn't, unless you have a guy under. 2nd down and 7 for the Bears. They pick it up nicely. Pass out for Wood off his fingertips and incomplete. He got a shot.
Boy, you can hear our sideline. Mike, hear that crunching going on, huh?
Bob Murray came up quick to nail Wood.
What's the blitz from the right side of your television screen? Buck sees it. They're going to roll out of the pocket anyway, but he had to hurry the play a little bit, threw it up where Wood could not squeeze it, and the ball was knocked loose.
I think Wood heard the footsteps of Big Bob Murray, number 90. Ooh, gave him a little shot just for good measure there, huh?
3rd and 7 from the 39 for the Black Bears. Buck rolls to his left side. Plenty of time. He fires out here. Complete to Knox and out of bounds at the 40.
And did you see how much time Buck had to throw? He rolled out left, kind of a little moving pocket, and he was just waiting for a man to get over.
All right, we got twins left here, and Maine's going to try to slow down New Hampshire's pass rush by moving the pocket. He sprints out left and then just waits for the play to set up. Knox runs a nice pattern and was open about 18, 20 yards downfield, squeezes it and is knocked out of bounds. Big first down for Maine right there on a 3rd down conversion.
The ball just inside the 40-yard line of New Hampshire. Maine has it 1st down and 10. 12:32 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And it's going to Fox on the left side. He's got some room. Fox is at the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. He's in for the touchdown.
Said at the top of the show that not only did Mike Buck have to have a big game, but Jimmy Fox too, because he's an all-purpose guy, and boy, he was all-purpose there.
All right, this is a counter to the weak side, and a nice hole for Fox. The cornerback came up, got trapped inside, and it's just a foot race down the sideline. New Hampshire can't quite get to him. Jimmy says every step I can take is a step closer. Look at him striding in. He knows it's a big score. The extra point is good. And the Maine Black Bears have done exactly what they wanted to do. They lead it 14-0 now with 12:23 to play in the 3rd period.
Another great block, too, by number 66, Tommy Rogers. Who is filling in at right tackle for Scott Howe. And that's the 2nd good block to spring Fox that Rogers has come up with.
Look at Murphy come over to Fox. Great run.
Just watching it. See the lineman pulling in front there? Yeah. That's Ingalls and Rogers. Boom, boom. Fox steps in between them. The cornerback's up and committed. And now it's a foot race. The safety's trying to come over and pick an angle. Can't quite make it.
Gained 109 yards against Delaware last week. He's very key to the Maine offense. As we say, he's their Maine's leading rusher and he's the 3rd leading pass receiver for Maine. And that, if they weren't high enough before that play, certainly the Black Bears are now.
And Borgeset's kick, of course, was good, so it's 14-0, the Black Bears.
And the key thing to remember right now is you're playing an outstanding football team in New Hampshire. 14 might not win it when they've got the win and they get on track in the 4th period. If you want to win this football game, now's the time. Stick them deeper and deeper into a hole.
Yeah, we're talking about New Hampshire, currently ranked number 6 in the nation.
Bennett's kick is another good one, end over end, and it's drives Smith back to the 3. He drops it, picks it up at the 2-yard line, and starts back out on the right side. And he is going to be knocked down. There's a flag on the play, and I think we're going to have a clip. And New Hampshire will be deep in a hole.
Listen up, y'all. Okay, key to that play may have been, this is a difficult field to play on in the late afternoon.
Clipping against the offense on the return, half the distance, first down and 10.
So it occurred inside the 10-yard line. But this is a tough sun field, very tough sun field, and they laid that ball on the ground partially because I think they're looking up the field into the sun.
And you saw the stats there on the scoring drive, a typical Maine scoring drive, a lot of yardage, not much time.
So it's 1st and 10, New Hampshire inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. And the handoff's going to go to Urbanik, and he's going to get nothing. There's a flag on the play.
I think somebody moved.
There was a lot of motion. I'm not sure if it was offense or defense, but a lot of motion on both sides of the ball.
The way this game's gone, I was going to say, what do you want to bet? It's New Hampshire. Yeah. But the way this game has gone, the team that's making the mistakes, Maine makes a big mistake there. That could help swing the momentum the other way. That's a free 5 yards, gets them out of the hole we talked about earlier.
Offsides defense, 5 yards from a previous spot. 1st and 5.
1st and 5.
So it brings it up to the 9-yard line. 1st and 5 for the New Hampshire Wildcats. 12:05 remaining in the third. 14-0. UMaine Black Bears in the lead. And it's a handoff to Banbury, the fullback, right up the middle, up to the 20-yard line, over the 20 to about the 21.
Good job by UNH right there. 2 plays, they're out across the 20, and they've established some field position from which to work.
And I'll tell you, Banbury and some Urbanik and these other guys are going to have to carry the load now, because I don't think we're going to see Norm Ford back in the ball game. And Banbury's only picked up 81 yards all season long. They're going to need some big plays to get back into this thing, particularly the way Maine's defense is fired up.
1st down and 10 at the 21. Gene hands off the right side to Urbanik. Nothing. He squirts away, maybe picked up 2 or 3 yards. He was stopped initially, but kept his legs driving. Got out close to the 25. We'll call it the 24.
Nice
Pick up the 3. Good second effort. Got him 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Curtis Olds, split 5 to the left side, Braun to the right. Gene looking for Olds, fires out here. Almost intercepted.
They did not disguise that very well, and the Black Bears almost had an incredible...
Claude Pettaway again.
That kid can really play. This Pettaway, just a freshman. In the first half, Curtis Olds caught the ball one time. Pettaway ran him down, threw him on the ground. I mean, this kid's a great athlete. He's very impressive.
Let's watch it here. Near pickoff, 5'11", 175. Claude Pettaway, a freshman from Silver Springs, Maryland, and he has had himself a game.
Blue chip player.
3rd down and 7 as the back shift into the eye. And it goes to Urbanik, and he's wrapped up at about the 25-yard line. It'll be a 4th down, a punting situation for New Hampshire. Nick Penner in the bottom of that pile, along with Trefethen. The ball just get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll set up 4th down and 6 for New Hampshire.
And again, that Maine defense bended just a little bit, but just refused to give up that 1st down.
Baldessaro standing back at about his own 11-yard line. Gets the kick away. It's high, and it just starts floating. Fair catch at the 45. Maine will go to the offense. 1st and 10 at their own 45. We'll be back with more action right after this.
Some people may think Joe and I are vegetarians, but we enjoy all kinds of foods. When I serve pasta, these fully cooked Italian sausages from Jordan's add a lot of flavor. That's what Joe likes. And talk about easy. Jordan's Italian sausage are ready in minutes. A little pasta, a little tomato sauce, and Jordan's fully cooked Italian sausage. And if your husband is anything like mine, he'll say, "Hey folks, that's delicious."
Scarborough House is going to establish a statewide chain of specialty home furnishing stores. And it means incredible savings to you right now. Have you heard the news? Scarborough House conducting a total public liquidation of all inventories at Scarborough House location 581 Route 1 across from Marshview Restaurant. And credit terms available and free delivery and Visa, MasterCard, but you must hurry. It's happening now.
We pause now for station identification on the Maine broadcasting system.
WCSH-TV, Channel 6, Portland.
Maine with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. And they pitch back, Fox back to Buck. He drops it, picks it up. He wants to throw. He's going to be wrapped up and thrown for a loss. Well, Maine tried to get a little fancy there. Hand off to Fox. He stopped, pitched it back to Buck, but the pitch back was low. Buck had to pick it up. He still wanted to throw, but he was quickly wrapped up by New Hampshire.
And I think that's an interesting call because I think they wanted to go for the throat there on a trick play and make this thing 21-0 in a hurry. Didn't work. But I think the thought there was to get a quick one.
Two thoughts: a good pass rush by UNH forced Buck to make his move hurried and caused the fumble. The other thing is UNH wasn't biting. Their deep people were deep. The play was not there.
The ball's back to the 39-yard line. Loss of 6. It means 2nd and 16. Buck's going up top again. Fires right over the middle. Swinson has it. Up to about the 47-yard line. That's Swinson.
Well, Maine taking what they're given, that's half of it.
And Mike Buck keeps getting better and better. That's one thing that Tim Murphy keeps saying at his weekly Monday news conferences, that Mike Buck each week seems to get better and better at reading the defenses and just taking what is given to him. He started out wanting to go long bomb all the way, and he's getting better and better at just reading and taking what's given.
So he got 8 of those 16 back. It's 3rd down and 8 now, and he's going to go throw again. Steps back, plenty of protection. He wants the bomb to Hebra. The pass is out, and it's incomplete.
More contact down there. Hebra's going to argue that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have called it on Hebra.
You know, Serge did a good job of trying to get a flag there. The defensive back between him and the ball, and Serge kind of reined up his back. I think if he'd kept his hands down, he might have gotten the call he was looking for. Let's get another look at it. They're trying to go deep. Now watch Serge. See that defensive back in perfect position.
Oh, you're right.
They collide. It's up to the referee.
I think that's a good no call.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that. The other thing I have to say is Maine, 2nd and 16, they got half of it back, and then they go deep. They might have wanted to have been a little bit more patient there.
Hunt is taken and dropped immediately in his tracks. Tommy Joy was dropped just as he caught the ball inside the 20. Call it the 17-yard line. New Hampshire again, deep in a hole. 1st and 10 at their own 17.
Working into a difficult win, but they've got to do something with it. They're down 2 touchdowns, and there's a look. Maine holds a 35-33 to 8 edge in this series. It's Maine's oldest continuous series. They play for the Bryce Cowell Muskets.
And keep in mind, Maine has won the last 4 meetings.
Pitch back, right side, Urbanik wrapped up and dropped in the backfield by Nick Penna.
Andy Nickerson, I believe, of East Dorrington, and his father coached Bangor High School's line when I was in high school. Nasty Nick. And Nick, I hope you got this one on tape, because the way you coach, I have no doubt he learned this from you. There's Penn at the top, but there's Andy Nickerson, outstanding athlete. And he's in the New Hampshire backfield right there and throws down Urbanik.
Yeah. Ball back at the 13-yard line. 2nd and 14 for New Hampshire. Gene wants to throw out here for Banbury. He hits one man, is dropped at the 20. Fullback Matt Banbury gets the ball back up to the 20, but it'll still set up 3rd and long yardage.
They did a nice job that time. They threw 3 receivers on this side of the field, the 3rd back coming out of the backfield, and they just kind of overloaded the zone on this side, and Pettaway had 2 people to guard. He had to remain in his zone, and it was an easy open for, I don't know, what they get on that, Bruce, 8, 6?
So it's 3rd and 8 now at the 18. Long count. Jeans back to pass. He's got a rush. He's back inside the 5-yard line.
Russ Constantino and Peter Rogalski.
Not bad for a couple of second-teamers, huh?
Yeah.
Watch Constantino come at the top of your screen. There he is. He says, I'm after you. Run.
Right into Peter.
And Rogalski's right there with the pursuit that's almost always necessary for good defensive play. And that's one thing that Maine does very well. It's not the greatest group of 11 athletes you could ever recruit, but they run well to the ball, and that's what they did there. They ran well. New Hampshire's got to punt it into the wind out of their own end zone.
4th and 23 at the 5. And here's the kick, and it's a low line drive kick. They're just going to let it roll dead. Maine will have great field position at the New Hampshire 24-yard line.
Look at that Maine sideline, huh? Nick Penna there, Claude Petaway 26. There's Rogalski 71, Constantino. They made the big hits in the backfield.
Here it is. Look at that ball. How it got out of there, you never know. But I'll tell you, gentlemen, it ain't over till it's over. Maine needs to punch something in here because if the wind is so bad they're kicking like this, it can only be worse in the fourth quarter, I suspect. And Maine could use another one.
1st and 10 at the 24 of New Hampshire for Maine. Doug Dorsey right up the middle. He's got a big hole. He's inside the 15, still on his feet, down to the 10-yard line. A great running by Doug Dorsey.
It's an inspired football team right now, offensively and defensively.
This is a Maine team that could win a share of the Yankee Conference Championship. Even though Richmond beat them, they would share the championship. And that was this team's goal when the year began. Doug Dorsey, he's got the talent. He makes such a great run here. You got to worry with all this that he might lay it on the ground.
Right.
I'm thinking, don't fumble it in your 9th or 10th effort, Doug. And he did not.
1st and 10 at the 11, so they can get another first down. And it goes to Dorsey again. He tries to break to the outside. He does. He hits one man still on his feet, finally driven out. Oh, boy, he's a tough kid to bring down.
He met Ryan Jones, number 3 there for New Hampshire, head-to-head, and said, let's bang a little bit. He sent Ryan Jones back about 3 yards.
All the way down to the 5-yard line. Well, Maine will have it. 2nd down.
That's the kind of thing right there that Norm Ford does for New Hampshire, although Ford isn't as much of a power runner as Dorsey had to be there. But there was nothing there. Dorsey created what was there, and that's what New Hampshire's lacked today, in fairness to the Wildcats.
2nd down, about 4 from the 5. Dorsey fumbles in the end zone. The ball's loose. New Hampshire has it. Looks like Bob Murray of the Wildcats coming up with it, number 90.
Doug Dorsey, look at him in the end zone there. He's down and saying, why me?
Well, he wanted it. That's why, and he was doing such a great job, and the coaching staff thought he deserved one more chance. He tried to make the big play, and sometimes when you try to make the big play, this is what happens.
Here it is. Up the middle he goes, and it's just loose. It looks like 66. 66 made that thing pop out.
Oh, it's still there. Old's got it, I think. Bob Murray, number 90, excuse me.
Okay. So it's 1st and 10, New Hampshire at the 20-yard line with 5:47 remaining as a big scoring opportunity goes by the boards. Urbanik breaks out over the 25 up to about the 26-yard line.
This is a good one, gentlemen, and it's going to be, I think, all New Hampshire in the 4th. We'll see, but the wind a big factor now, and New Hampshire trying to run into it for 5 minutes and 52 seconds, 5 minutes and 30 seconds, which is the time remaining in the 3rd period.
Ball at the 27. It'll be 2nd down and 3. A pick up a 7 on the play for tailback Todd Urbanik. Long count by Bob Jean. And it's again to Urbanik. He breaks off the left. We have a flag on the play.
It always seems to be in that area when you get an offensive hold or something. Let's see.
That deep handoff enables Urbanik to pick a hole. They're going to back up New Hampshire if Maine wishes them to. Tim Murphy says, indeed.
Eagle block, below the waist, offense.
Well, again, every time New Hampshire starts to do something, they kind of stub their toe a little bit. Here's another example. And there's Bill Bowes right in the middle of your screen there. The man with that overcoat.
101 wins in his career. Here's Urbanik, and there's the UMaine defense. Again, Rogalski doing a good job in the middle of the line, but that swarming Black Bear defense.
Let's put the ball back to the 13-yard line now, where it'll be 2nd down and 17. Backs come out of the eye. Bob Jean back to pass. He wants Old, but he can't get him. Fires out here in the flat at the 10, the 15, 20, 25. And another flag, I believe, is thrown down at the 30-yard line.
Good call there. They swung a little screen out to the left, and that helps stop the momentum of a hard-charging defense, a swarming defense, and that's the way you take some of what they're giving you. Referees confer the penalty occurred very close to the Maine sideline, and we were blocked, although it does appear to be on New Hampshire. Clip. And, hey, they beat themselves. If New Hampshire is not able to win this football game, it's mistakes like that that beat them.
Number 37 was Mike Ryan, who's a junior tailback out of Peabody, Mass. Here's a clip, and again, as Dale pointed out, they stubbed their toes.
Curtis Olds, number 7, called on the clip.
That's 2.
That's 2 on Olds, that's right. Takes the ball back now to the 13-yard line.
And again, it's the same mistake Doug Dorsey made. I mean, here's the guy who's one of the greatest football players around. He believes in himself. He can make the big play. He's been frustrated today, so he's trying to do it with a block. And he just makes a mistake.
2nd and 17 for the Wildcats. Fake handoff to Ryan. He wants to go deep for Braun. Fires over the middle. Oh, it's incomplete. He looked for Braun deep. Braun was covered by James, so he tried to go over the middle, and it went incomplete. So it'll set up a 3rd and 17 for the Wildcats.
Boy, and you saw a tight shot there of Bob Jean's face, and he says, what is going on? Look at him read the plays. See him on the wrist? Got his... got the plays taped to his wrist there. Look at that. I can't believe it, he says.
3rd and 17 with 4:09 remaining in the 3rd period. New Hampshire at their own 13-yard line. Gene back to pass. He wants to throw. He's got pressure. Rolls out to the right side. He's got a little running room. Gets away, but Petaway comes up quickly to make the tackle. Claude Petaway.
Bob Jean had no chance to run that ball with Petaway in the flat like that. This kid's a great one right here. Claude Petaway from Silver Springs, Maryland, Dale.
Absolutely.
What a ball player we've got in this guy.
Just a freshman. And again, he's in the lineup. Watch him.
Again, though, he's pushed out of the pocket. That quarterback can't throw the ball right now. He's running for his life. A good job by a swarming Maine defense.
And he's, Gene says, well, I'm going to pick up as much as I can, give my punter a chance.
Baldessaro takes a stutter step and gets the kick away, and Maine's going to let it roll. It'll stay in New Hampshire territory at about the 47-yard line. So the Black Bears will have the wind of their back for the next 3 minutes and 23 seconds. We'll be back with the plays right after this.
Mike Buck did an outstanding job. New Hampshire sent a blitz from this side of the field. He knew he had Hebra isolated on the other side. He simply turned and hit the open man. He sees it, bang.
He's got such a strong arm. I mean, he gets that ball out there, and, you know, it doesn't give the defense time to react. I mean, he just whips that ball in there. One of the keys is when you shake Mike Buck's hand, he's got such huge hands. And, look at those stats today. Isn't that pretty?
The ball,
16 for 24.
The ball is right on the 10-yard line. First down and goal for the Bears. Back to pass is Buck. Floods the right side. He's got plenty of time. Fires in the end zone. In the back of the end zone. Complete touchdown. Sergio Hebra.
How about a big hand for the Maine offensive line?
Yeah. All kinds of time to throw. I think he sent out for pizza back there, didn't he, before he threw it? He had enough time. Wow.
Borges' kick is up. It's perfect. It's University of Maine 21, New Hampshire nothing with a minute 32 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
And that's touchdown throw number 18 for Michael Buck on the year. He throws to the main man in more ways than one, Sergio Hebra. Mr. Moneyman with his 17th career touchdown. Sergio Hebra is 21.
The key there, the blocking by the offensive line of the University of Maine, Dave Ingalls and company, Seth Koeppel, Rob Noble, Chuck Kasmer. Boy, they did a nice job there. If you give Mike Buck that kind of time with receivers like Sergio Hebra, you're going to come away with 7. And now Maine's in great shape, 21-0, with a minute and a half to go in the 3rd period. Now we're getting the other way. The wind's going to change. New Hampshire's going to have momentum. However, we're getting down around blowout time. If Maine can keep this kind of momentum going well, and 5 or 6 minutes into the 4th period, it's over.
Mike
Pettit teeing it up at the 35. Again, it's Joy. Tommy Joy, 47 on the far side. Dan Smith, number 30 on the near side, standing at about the 5-yard line. Keith James is holding the ball for Pettit. The wind keeps blowing it off the tee. Here's the kick. End over end, and it's going to be fielded by Smith at the 11, at the 15, the 20, 25, up the middle. On his feet, up to the 30 and down there.
Maine special teams have done, I don't know, they've kept New Hampshire off the board, but just barely. Again, there was some running room there before they finally collared them at the 30. Big hole up the 5-hole there, and that's a room that University of Maine could stand to improve. Conversely, New Hampshire, which isn't a great special teams team, has done a good job.
Look at Bob Jean's stats. Only 63 yards passing all day long.
He's going to try again, and he completes this one over the middle to Spittal at the 45-yard line. Gets up to the 49, where Nick Penna brings him down.
They're going 2-minute offense. Excuse me, they're not. I thought they were going to try a 2-minute offense here just to see if they could change the momentum. I guess into the wind, that would not be such a good idea. Good catch by Spittal, and Gene threaded the needle there. That was a great throw, and I bet he wishes they had a stat for drops. There'd be a 4 in it.
1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line for the New Hampshire Wildcats. Pitch back right side, whistles, flags, neon signs, everything stops. Initial call is illegal procedure against New Hampshire.
Procedure. Offense, 1st and 15.
Bill Bowes must be tearing his hair out.
Ball goes back to the 43-yard line, and it's 1st down and 15 yards to go for the Wildcats. Curtis Old splits to the right side, and that's Chris Braun to the left. Handoff is to Banbury. Gets away from one tackle, gets over inside the 40 to up the 38-yard line. Fullback Matt Banbury nearly got clotheslined, but he hung on.
Well, he did get clotheslined. He just didn't go down.
Didn't go down, didn't understand.
You know, it's interesting to see if Sterling delivered a blow to the head here, because that would be a flag. He's up pretty high. The refs say he didn't do it. The University of New Hampshire bench says he does. That's the kind of thing that'll pump the team up, too.
So the Wildcats are inside the 40 at the Maine 38.
I believe they're saying that's the end of the quarter, even though it shows 21 seconds left, Bruce.
That's it.
Yeah, the clock does have 21 seconds left, but that is the end of the 3rd quarter with a score. The University of Maine Black Bears 21, the New Hampshire Wildcats nothing. Today's game is being brought to you by Jordan's Meats, celebrating 6 decades of leadership. Your New England Ford dealers. #1 knows New Englanders better. Coca-Cola, catch the wave. Coke. By the Portland Press Herald, Evening Express, and the Maine Sunday Telegram, bringing you every play, every day. Bonanza of Maine. Levinsky's. We've lowered our prices before Christmas. And by the Maine Dodge dealer. It's gotta be a Dodge. Okay, we're back. New Hampshire had the ball at the Maine 38. They've taken it all the way down to the 23-yard line thanks to a pass interference call. They have it now 2nd down and 10 from the Maine 23. 14:41 remaining here in the final period. Maine leading 21-0. Bob Jean, the quarterback for New Hampshire, drops back. He wants to throw. He's looking for Old. He has to throw it out here to Ryan. Ryan at the 25. Gets away from Run. He's at the 20. Dropped right there at the 21-yard line.
Well, this is a big stand for the Maine defense. They've been able to stand their ground, bend a little bit, but not break all day long. And New Hampshire is putting them to the test right here.
They are indeed. And the Maine defense, there's 2 ways to look at it. They do have a shutout going, and what they want to do is dig down deep. Once New Hampshire gets the momentum established here, I think it could be scary in the closing moments of this ball game.
3rd down and 8 from the 22, a pickup of 1 of that last play. And Gene wants to throw again. And he fires and hits Spittal. Spittal goes just inside the 20, well short of the first down. Nick Penner coming up with the tackle. Ball will be at about the 18. It'll set up 4th down at about 4. And
Interesting call.
I think you got to go for 6.
Great job of blocking by the New Hampshire offensive line on this play. Watch this. And Bob Jean stands in the pocket until he finds a receiver. New Hampshire will go for it on 4th down. This is the biggest play of the ball game thus far for New Hampshire. 4th and 3.
Incomplete. The defense holds.
Maine did a really nice job that time. New Hampshire elected to roll left, move the pocket. Again, all kinds of time. Andy Nickerson comes off with his hands above his head, and the Maine stalwarts in the crowd relax a little bit. 13:05 to go. Here's another look at it.
Yeah, I don't think Gene, at this point, he just can't find anybody. He says, well, maybe I better run, try to pick it up here. And he says, no, I'm not going to make it. Here comes Penner, so he throws it. Incomplete. Olds has had a tough day, hasn't he?
That was a tough throw to catch, too, just a little bit behind him and with pursuit, especially difficult to catch.
1st and 10 from the 17, and it's to fullback Wood. Big Ray Wood banging out over the 20, trying to get a little running room for the Black Bears. They got everything going for him now. 21-0 lead, 12 minutes remaining in the game. 12:41 to be exact, 49. Ball at the 20, pick up a 3, 2nd and 7.
You want to win a football game, sustain a drive into the wind, into the sun with a 21-point lead. If they can go for 4 minutes here, it's their ball game.
Yeah, just ball control. Tim Murphy says, let's play ball control. Let's just hang on to it. No fumbles.
Look for Dorsey.
Eat up the clock.
And Buck wants to throw a little pressure, fires out for Wood, incomplete. He had too much pressure. Couldn't set his feet right. He just had to throw the ball and led Wood too much. It was a safe pass. It wouldn't be intercepted. So it'll set up a 3rd and long for the Bears.
But it does stop the clock. See, I kind of like the call that Maine went with because they play action fake to Dorsey. I just said look for Dorsey, so that would have frozen me as a linebacker, yet they did stop the clock because the play was incomplete.
3rd down and 7 from the 20 for the Bears. Detto to the left side. Gordon to the right. Long count by Mike Buck. He wants to throw. He's looking for Vendetto. It's going to be picked off at the 28-yard line and run out of bounds.
Well,
it's Billy Farrell, the strong safety. He was right there. He threw it right in his hands at the 28. And New Hampshire.
Mike Buck just made about as bad a pass as he could.
What scares me is that these are two good football teams. Here's the play again. Buck simply, he didn't read it right. He threw it perfectly to Farrell. The thing is that knowing what Maine has done the last 2 weeks and their comeback efforts, you got to feel like New Hampshire is capable of doing that too.
New Hampshire's very capable.
So that's what you got to be, if you're a Maine fan, hang on.
Absolutely.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line now for the Wildcats, but they haven't put one in yet. They've had some good opportunities. Urbanik, left side, leaps over one tackle and nearly drops the ball. He's stacked up by the right side of the University of Maine defense.
Maine's defense is doing an incredible job. I mean, New Hampshire, no surprise there. They got their fullback moved over behind their guard, and they pitch it to Urbanik to run left. Now, on the other hand, if that was Norm Ford, that might be a big play throughout the day. Not necessarily there because there was just nothing established. Maine has never won here at Portland Stadium. They lost in '67 to Citadel and to Massachusetts. And what was the year? 1960? 60, I believe it was.
2nd down and 11, a loss of a yard by Urbanik. Gene back to pass. Pressure. He's wrapped up, gets away. Fires towards the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown. Wow. Well, there's a break. It went off, I believe, Penaway's hands.
Into Braun's hands.
Into Braun's.
Holy cow.
exactly the break New Hampshire needed, because Maine, again, put great pressure on Bob Jean. They had him running. He threw a ball that really could have been intercepted off one guy's hand into another's, and we got ourselves a football game with 11:26 to go. It's 21-6.
And I keep thinking back to last week. Remember the highlight reel from Delaware late in the game when Mike Buck got away and threw a touchdown pass to Serge? I mean, it wasn't tipped like this one, but watch Jean.
Makes a good play, but see, he can't throw it now. Finally, he just throws it on the run. That's not a great throw. Hand up there in the way. Look at that. It's a great throw because Chris Braun makes it a great catch.
And 11.5 minutes still to go in this football game.
And the kick by Eric Facey is good. We've got a 21-7 ball game. Maine leading the Wildcats of New Hampshire. Minutes and 26 seconds remaining.
If the time has come to put a new kind of driving performance into...
All right, New Hampshire will be teeing it up from their own 20-yard line. Obviously a 15-yard penalty that will be marked off. It was marked off after the extra point, so it comes on the kickoff. They'll be kicking from the 20, so Maine could get good field position.
2 plays, 14 yards, 9 seconds is the key. 2 ways to look at this. New Hampshire, plenty of time. Maine, still a good sustained drive, can win it for the Bears.
And the kick is picked right off at the 45 by one of the tight ends over the 50s in New Hampshire territory. I didn't catch the number.
I think it was 88 Swinson?
89.
89.
Bua? No, I'm sorry. Bitterman. Oh, the basketball player, Mike Bitterman.
Okay,
he is a big kid, isn't he?
Well, Mike took it into New Hampshire territory, so the Black Bears do have excellent field position at the Wildcat 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for Maine.
There you see Tim Murphy there looking out over the field, and he's got a nervous look to his face. He knows this thing isn't over with yet.
You know, you talk about big penalties, though. 15 after you score a touchdown. You know, they could be kicking Maine in the hole. They're kicking from their own 20, and Maine gets it on the New Hampshire 48. That's a big mistake.
1st and 10 for the Black Bears. Buck with a handoff to Fox on the left side behind him, blocked by Rogers. On his feet down to the 45-yard line. Tommy Rogers, the right tackle, pulling out, leading the way. Playing an outstanding game, filling in for Scott Howe.
Scott Curtis, 92 there for New Hampshire. Stayed with his block and just pulled off and pulled down Fox. Good play by Curtis. I've been impressed with Curtis there.
With the ball at the 45, pickup of about 3, 2nd down and 7 for the Black Bears. Buck wants to throw. He fires over the middle, incomplete. He had Jimmy Fox all alone at the 40-yard line on the right side.
I think the visibility going right to left on your TV screen is terrible as the sun sets.
Yeah.
You can see him squinting into it. I don't think he saw Fox.
Lanza took a shot after the ball went incomplete, and it looks like he's suffering he was holding the small of his back earlier. Now he's rolled over on his knees.
So we've got a great one. The Maine Bears leading 21-7, 10:35 to go. If they can win this football game, they're co-Yankee Conference champions. They are one of the few Maine teams in my lifetime to accomplish their goal. That was their goal when the season began, and this program continues to get just a step better each year. Conversely, a mighty New Hampshire team ranked 6th in the nation on the far side. They've got the momentum, and they've started back.
Okay, let's go back to our Kickoff 87 anchor desk with an update with Rich Kimball.
All right, thanks very much, guys. 21-7, the score there. The Maine Black Bears leading New Hampshire. It's an exciting day of high school football today. Let's go right to the scoreboard, where we find Biddeford victorious this afternoon over South Portland. Final score is in now, 34-14. Biddeford wins it. Let's go to some of the highlights. Late in the first period, Tiger quarterback.
All right, 3rd and 7 from the Maine 45-yard line. Here's what happened. Mike Buck goes back to pass, and the number 98, the right tackle, Paul Boulay, wraps him up for a sack right at midfield. So Maine will be kicking into the wind and into the sun.
And Boulay and By the way, there's Kevin Doherty, one of the defensive ends there for New Hampshire, getting some help off the sidelines. Boulay is the guy we headlined at the top of the show. Big 6'1", 265 guy.
And the kick goes down inside the 35, out of bounds at about the 33-yard line of New Hampshire. And the Wildcats, who scored the last time they had the ball, go back to offense, 1st and 10 at their own 33.
And you can almost feel the momentum shift, can't you, Bill?
Look at the way Bob Jean runs onto the field. Does he look beaten to you? Maine's defense has done an outstanding job. The only 7 they've given up were the last 7, and that's, of course, when they got lousy field position on the interception. So they've played well. Let's see what they can do here. New Hampshire given new life with that interception and quick touchdown a couple of moments ago.
1st down and 10. Jean will go right upstairs immediately. He fires over the middle, and it's complete. Over midfield into Maine territory.
Well, I'd say Gene's warming up because he threaded that baby right in between 2 Maine defenders. I thought for a moment someone had picked it off, but he threaded it.
That's the second one he's threaded, but he's getting progressively better as the day goes on. 9:47 to go, but too much time for Maine to be trying to hold on. They must maintain their aggressiveness. They need to sustain a drive. They need 7 more points than they've got, I believe.
That pass was to backup tight end Steve Crevani down to the 48 of Maine. 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats. Jean with a handoff to Banbury. Banbury gets down to the 45, maybe just inside the 45.
Nice call there, trying to maintain their balance. They don't want to become a strictly passing team. They don't want to let Maine's defensive hogs, their down linemen, be firing off the ball at Jean, and they get 3 or 4 there, although I do think their fortunes are going to be made by throwing the ball. They've had much more success at it.
2nd down and 7. Ball just outside the 45-yard line. Jean fires out here to Urbanik on the flag. Breaks 1 tackle at the 40-yard line. He's driven out of bounds.
I'll say this much about Urbanik. He just doesn't go down on that first hit, does he?
He's a good, tough kid. He runs well. He runs hard. He's not the big play threat, as we've talked earlier, but this is a screen pass. They block for a 1 or a 2 count. Here comes Maine. Flip it out in the flat to Urbanik. Watch Maine come up quickly here. He slips 1 tackle, but that swarming Maine defense again does the job. 3rd and I'll call it a long 1, maybe 2.
From the 40-yard line. Jean with a handoff to Urbanik. He's got the 1st down. He's got more as he gets inside the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. Claude Petaway, Stevie Luke in to make the tackle.
Nice job by the UNH front 5 there. They're opening up a big hole on Maine. They needed 1.5 yards, and he stepped through to get that much, and then it was, how much can I make of this myself? Petaway, a good defensive man. Look at that. Boom, boom. There's a whole linebacker caught inside. This Petaway something else.
Boy, he made tackle there.
There's a clip on Olds that wasn't called.
Ball at the 34, 1st and 10 for New Hampshire. Out of the backfield, pass is incomplete, intended for Braun at about the 20. 2nd down and 10.
Buck and Hebra playing catch on the Maine sideline. That combination could be very important before this football game is through. Big crowd at Portland Stadium for a key Yankee Conference matchup between the Maine Bears and the New Hampshire Wildcats. They're paying their dues on a wind-chilled day here at Portland Stadium, Jim Fitzpatrick Stadium.
I'd say it's a good old-fashioned Maine-New Hampshire game, typical.
It's Urbanik again, who slips several tackles, gets inside the 20 before Stevie Luke, the left cornerback, wraps him up. Ball down to about the 17-yard line, shy of the 1st down. It'll set up a 3rd and about 3.
You see a lot of Maine defensive players, Andy Nickerson and Danino coming off the field. Maine rotating a lot of players on defense, getting them out and in, trying to keep them fresh.
Ball at the 27-yard line, not the 17. At the 27-yard line, 3rd and 3, back to pass. Over the middle. It's knocked down by Luke, nearly intercepted. Intended for Olds. Luke got his arm on it, knocked it down. It'll set up 4th down.
Well, there's no doubt that New Hampshire, having gone for it once on 4th and 3, will go for it once again. Curiously enough, Maine's defense says, let's hear it, you guys. And the 9,000 or so on hand, maybe 6,000 are left, respond. As New Hampshire had kicked earlier and kicked now, a touchdown and 2 would tie it. Now that's really second-guessing just a thought.
You saw Steve Luke there with his arms whooping it up saying, come on, crowd, help us out.
And the crowd responds.
The crowd wants to get up and move around a little bit, get warm. They said, sure, we'll help out.
That's why I'm swinging my jacket over my head. Just trying to keep warm.
Timeout for the University of New Hampshire here. They want to think about it. Is that right? New Hampshire timeout, Bruce?
I believe it was, yes.
Well, it's a big call. I mean, let's face it, 21-7. If you stop them here, you got Big Mo back on your side, and
at least for 45 seconds while you lose 4 yards into the wind.
Let's go back to kickoff 87 anchor desk and Rich Kimball with another update. Fourth down and 3, a big play for the Wildcats at the Maine 27-yard line. Gene back to pass, he's rushed over the middle, knocked down by Luke. No flag, a great play by left cornerback Steve Luke, who jumped up behind the receiver to knock that ball down.
2 great plays, Penna on the blitz, and that's what forced it. They had to get rid of the ball quickly, and then Luke jumped over the New Hampshire receiver to knock the ball down. If he makes contact, if he goes through him, that's first down. Here we go. Watch Penna. Look, he's got to get rid of it. Here comes the throw. Look at Luke up in the air. Big play, Steve Luke.
Timed it perfect.
Over Curtis Olds.
So Maine goes to the offense with 7:06 remaining, 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Knox in motion to the right side. Buck with a handoff to Dorsey. Dorsey cuts inside over the 30 up to the 33-yard line. Brought down there by...
There's Luke on the sidelines, getting all kinds of congratulations, and well-deserved, and give some congrats to Penna, too, as Bill said.
One difference there is you could almost give congratulations to Penna on every play, though.
Yeah.
Standout linebacker of the back
heart and soul of that defense.
He really is.
Pick up a 5 for Dorsey, 2nd down and 5. Maine just wanting to hold on to the ball, gives it to Dorsey again, tries the right side, gets out to about the 35-yard line.
You think this is a big play, gentlemen?
Will Tyschen, the linebacker, leads the tackles along with Basil Jarostchuk.
3rd and about 3 coming out. 3rd and about 2, judging from the spot. And a big play for the Bears as the clock ticks down towards the 6-minute mark. And here comes that big tight end into the ball game for Maine. Matt Swinson, the sophomore. I like that kid, and he's a very real possibility here. Although you got to imagine the Bears will keep it on the ground to Dorsey.
In fullback now is Darryl DeLuca, a big freshman from Peabody, Mass. And they're going to run Dorsey right behind him, and Dorsey's met head-on. He's not going to have the first down. He was met head-on right at the 35-yard line and driven back.
Bill O'Malley, 97 with the initial hit. Watch him right up the middle. O'Malley is 97 for New Hampshire. Boom. 6'1", 255, knocks him back. He's down low. In up high is Boulay, number 98, and they stop him right there. Maine's got a punt.
UNH defense has done a nice job today.
That'll be Bell standing back at about the 22-yard line, looking into the sun. He gets the snap and gets the kick. It's a low kick. It's not bad. It's dropped recovered by Maine. It was dropped by number 47, Tom Joy. And Andy Nickerson was right there to recover the fumble. The Black Bears have it. 1st and 10 at the New Hampshire 30-yard line.
Every time New Hampshire has tried to do something, they stub their toe, and Maine comes up with a big play. And Andy Nickerson is in the middle of that somewhere. He's an interesting fellow. He started out at Maine to play football. He left, went to Husson College to play basketball. He was a member of the Husson Braves basketball team and a great basketball player. Came back to play football here at Maine. He's a linebacker, special teams player, and Johnny on the spot right there.
All right, we'll be back with the Maine offensive series from the 30 right after this. We're back live at the James J. Fitzpatrick Stadium. The University of Maine has come up with a big fumble recovery at the New Hampshire 30-yard line. The Bears have it 1st and 10. They lead 21-7, 5:06 remaining. Jeff Knox goes in motion to the right side. Handoff comes to Jimmy Fox, dives straight up the middle. He's shy of the 25, gets to maybe to the 26-yard line. Pick up of about 2 on the play. We'll call it 3. 2nd down and 7. Ball at the 27.
And 4:50 to go on the clock and counting. 100 yards for Jim Fox, his second straight week for rushing 100 yards. A tough, tough cookie.
2nd and 7. Fox again going to the left side. Runs out of running room, runs out of bounds.
Well, interesting.
Driven out there by quarterback Timmy Byrne, number 22.
Might have been better off to have fallen down before he got to that sideline for 20 seconds. But the University of Maine offensive line has done a particularly nice job today. There was a thought they'd be manhandled. Here they're running power. You see the two people pulling in front of Fox. If he tucks it up, we're under the 4-minute mark. New Hampshire runs him out of bounds. 3rd down and 7 on the UNH 27-yard line.
Going to throw. Rolls to the right side. He's looking. He has knocked at the Gordon. That's Danny Gordon. Gets all the way down. Out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
I'll tell you what, he was open to defensive man. Just laid off him way too much, and Buck found it.
Well, Buck rolled out very confidently that time, and this guy is the heart of the UMaine football team. He's not even thinking about running. He's just waiting for it to open up out there. Gordon runs a square out, and he's left alone. No one has scored in this left-hand end zone today, gentlemen. All 4 scores were down the other end of the football field.
1st and goal after 5. 4:20 remaining in this ball game. Pitch back. Fox right side. Big block. Cuts to the outside, and he's in for the touchdown.
This year on the extra points.
28-7. The University of Maine is 4 minutes and 14 seconds away from tying for the Yankee Conference Championship with the Richmond Spiders. They are leading New Hampshire right now, 28-7.
Here it is again. Fox, go ahead, Bill.
Well, you've got it as easily as I do. The offensive line punts a hole for him, and actually he picked it well. Getting 2 or 3 out of that and just using his momentum to fall into the end zone. I think the real significant part, that's Dave Ingles at the top of the screen, 66 blocking out.
Rogers.
It's Tom Rogers again. That's the 2nd or 3rd time we've had him isolated, pulling ahead of the play. And then Fox doing the last yard or so on his own. Still plenty of time for New Hampshire, 4:14, but they really have to hurry now. The Bears on their way to a Yankee Conference championship.
I think the Maine fans around here are reaching out and can kind of almost feel that Yankee Conference title, at least a share of it anyway.
Well,
and keeping the playoff hopes alive, too. A win today does not guarantee. They still have to go out west and beat Illinois State next week.
Illinois State, I don't remember the record. It's like 1-6. They've struggled, lost 4 of their last 5. And Maine's conference, hypothetically, a quarter of a step above that conference, but you don't win until you play it.
Back deep for New Hampshire. 47, Tommy Joy, and number 30, Dan Smith. Mike Bennett's kick. It's a good one. It holds up again for that win. And it's fielded at the 30, 35, down close to the 40-yard line. A guard fielded that. That's 66. Look at the 3 guys fumbling through. Rosters. Anyway, it was fielded by number 66. That's his name. Brings it all the way out to the 38-yard line.
Not on my depth chart.
He has it 1st down and 10. New Hampshire opening right up with a shotgun. Snap goes back to Gene. He's going to throw. He fires right out here to Banbury, the fullback. 45 up to about the 48-yard line.
Maine will give him a little bit here, I'm sure, at this point. Give him 5 yards or so, 10 yards or so, and willing to bend a little bit here and to try to keep the ball inbound and keep the clock running. It is down to 3:54 left.
I'm just surprised you guys don't know T.J. Reek when you see him carrying the football. The big freshman out of, oh no, I've lost it again.
Oh, out of Smethport, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That T.J. Reek.
That's the guy. That's the ticket.
But the ball's all the way out to the New Hampshire 49-yard line. 1st and 10. 3:54 remaining. They need a Delaware miracle to win this one. There goes my car. Gene fires out here to Olds. He falls down at about the 44-yard line.
Hurry up offense for New Hampshire. They need to work it 3 times back-to-back in 4 minutes. We'll see onside kick. There's going to be a lot of action. But that touchdown right to left is the one that wins it for Maine.
Out to Chris Braun. Braun has it at about the 36. He's driven out of bounds there.
Again, Maine willing to give a little bit here. Up 28-7. Saying go ahead, have to take the short passes. Great job. Nothing long.
Ball's at the 37. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Pass over the middle is deflected and incomplete.
Well, who else? It was Claude Petaway, wasn't it? 26 deflected that, I believe.
Yes, it was.
I'll tell you what, he may be the defensive player in the Yankee Conference this week, huh? Player of the week.
Had an incredible game today.
Yeah, that's Petaway. Sure it is. Wow, he has been everywhere.
Second and 10 for the Wildcats. Gene fires down the middle for Olds. He's got it. Inside the 15.
That's what we've been expecting them to do all day. Just a post pattern by Olds. And Gene threads the needle.
Well, the Ford's in the garage, but the Olds is running well now.
That's right.
1st and 10. Gene wants to throw. Throws to his right side. Got a little pressure in the end zone, and it's out of the end zone, incomplete.
So many little things win football games. As we look at Heidi Woodward of Bonnie Eagle, one of the main cheerleaders. Lori Labby, Jean Aingrove. I promised to mention some cheerleaders by name. I didn't promise that, but I just was determined to do it. But Maine, so many little things win football games. But New Hampshire mistakes were a big part of this one.
Second down. 10 yards to go from the 14 for the Wildcats. Gene to throw. Fires. Incomplete. 3rd down.
How many times today have we seen that on the part of New Hampshire receivers?
At least 5.
Oh.
Let's take another look at it. Shotgun.
Dave Maruzak, number 29. 3rd and 10. 2 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in the ball game. Gene got a little pressure, rolls to his right, wants to throw in the end zone. Olds, touchdown! Curtis Olds running parallel to the baseline of the end zone, pulls it in for the score. It's kind of the proverbial horse out of the barn after the door was open or closed or whatever happened.
Well, I don't know. I don't think the barn door's closed yet. There's 2:45 to go. That's Andy Nickerson on the blitz from his outside linebacking spot. Gene escapes the Maine containment, gives him plenty of time, and Curtis Olds is not a kind of guy you can give a lot of time to. Neither is Bob Gene, and they convert for the touchdown. 28-14. Don't forget, overtime is a real possibility in the Yankee Conference.
Basie's kick is perfect. 28-14.
Anybody want to guess onside kick? Well,
you ready for this? I would not onside kick the ball here. I'd kick him deep. Try to get it back with a minute and a half to go and get it right in. You're going to gain a lot of yardage kicking it deep here. I don't think you'll get away with 2 onside kicks. Kicking them deep, holding them quickly, using my timeouts now, and then scoring an onside kick and go up top in the last 30 seconds.
Okay.
I kick an onside kick. I want the ball now.
The problem with onside kicks, and I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, because you can talk about good onside kicks all you want, but you're talking about lucky and unlucky ones.
Here you go. You got Bobby Wilder out there.
All right.
He's going to be in the front row. Vendetto, wide receiver. Wilder, a quarterback. Lanza, a tight end. Sterling, free safety.
Ray Woods out there.
And number 15, Danny Gordon, a wide receiver. Those are your front 5 men.
That's another reason why I'd kick it deep. They can't return it on me now.
They're backed up.
They can't.
They're backed up by Hebra, Dorsey, Woods, and Knox.
You know, you could almost kick this ball into the end zone. You've got 2 men deep. They're wide, as you see.
Randy Hutchins is one of the deep backs for Maine, and Jimmy Fox the other. Well, let's see what happens.
New Hampshire is definitely onside kicking from their alignment. We haven't seen that today.
Yeah.
They're going to the far side.
And Sterling makes the catch, and he goes down, and Maine has the ball.
Well, you got to do it. You got to gamble, I think. At that point, you gamble, and if you're New Hampshire, you don't win. Good play, Sterling. All you want to do is catch the ball, go down, and that's what he did.
Maine will take over, 1st and 10, at the New Hampshire 47-yard line.
Little stub kick in the air. Sterling's got it, and he goes down.
Well, I lied when I said there's no such thing as a good onside kick. They have a technique of kicking the top of the ball so it goes into the ground and bounces up, and that's about as good a job as you can do on it. Rod Sterling just made the play, that's all.
2:41 remaining. Hand off, Dorsey gets up to the 45. He's stacked up there. Clock ticks down.
Well, you can see the shadow. Look how dark it's getting on the field. You can see the sun setting very quickly. And the sun also setting very quickly on any hopes New Hampshire has of getting a share of the Yankee Conference, too, I might add.
2nd down and 8, a pickup of 2 by Dorsey. We have a whistle.
Delay of game, probably.
Clock all the way down to 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and it will be a 5-yard delay of game penalty against Maine, I believe.
I think it's the 2-minute warning, gentlemen. The game clock, from what we've been seeing today, is being kept on the field. The scoreboard's unofficial.
Well, now they've run the clock.
Well, they started again. It's at all at the 45-yard line, 2nd down and 8. I'm not sure what happened there.
That's right. There's no 2-minute warning in college. I guess they just wanted to get the clock lined up, the field clock lined up with 2 minutes, because they were signaling 2 minutes to the bench.
Dorsey, right side, nowhere.
Curtis in on that tackle. Scott Curtis.
Yeah, that would be it. They ran the field clock down to match what they were carrying in their pockets as the official game time.
Boy, someone was bundled up there. Did you see that coat? It's cold down there. Maine fans are handling the cold a little bit better than the New Hampshire fans are right now. That's
New Hampshire's calling a timeout with 1:28 to go. And I think the horse is out of the barn. 28-14. 3rd and 8 for Maine.
The horses aren't out of the barn yet.
Well, the door's closed.
Well, this is a great thing for the University of Maine, the state of Maine, and for the University of Maine football program. Here they are. They did have the bad game with Richmond, but they're trying to put together a symmetrical season of 4 wins, 3 losses, and 4 wins at the end. It will probably get them to the playoff. They played good football today against a good football team at UNH. As we take a look at that last replay.
There's a little extracurricular activity after the last play, as you'll see here.
Yeah. Frustration, I think, they're showing on the part. These teams have no like for each other, that's for sure, and they know what's at stake here. Should mention, too, that Maine already, even before this game, guaranteed of his 3rd straight winning season. That hasn't happened since the mid-60s. Looks like they're going to get a share of the Yankee Conference. There's Dr. Dale Lick, the University of Maine president, and Governor McKernan and Kevin White in the background there, too.
3rd down and 11 for the Black Bears. Dorsey, right side. Gets up to the 45 and out of bounds. Maine will have to kick it away.
Did he stay in bounds or out?
Clock is still running. 19.
New Hampshire calls timeout.
But again, besides, if things can hold the way they are, whoop, the flag goes down.
That's personal foul on New Hampshire. 1st down, Maine.
Probably a dead ball foul.
against Maine.
Against Maine, takes it back to the 46-yard line. Personal foul Maine.
Back to the onside kick. Okay, offsetting. Dead ball foul, so they won't repeat the down. It will be 4th down. If you had kicked Maine deep, you'd be getting it with a minute 18 to go or so at midfield. A chance to get one in and onside kick it. Of course, if you think the horses are out of the barn.
What difference does it make?
That's right, the horses are out of the barn.
Don't have time to football. Minute 18 remaining. They're going to punt it away. Olds and Smith back at the 15-yard line.
Well, it's hard to return a ball in this kind of wind anyway. They'd be lucky to kick it that far, so I would think New Hampshire would come after this punt and try to block it.
Bell is standing back at his own 40. And he gets it away. It's a low line kick, wobbly at the 20, inside the 20, inside the 15, right on the 15-yard line. Nice kick against the wind by Bell.
Bell's had 2 of them. That last one that they dropped, that Dickerson recovered, was a good kick into the wind, the best we'd seen until that one.
Yeah, he kept it low, and the other thing is, I think he kept it toward the sideline to cut down the field and prevent any type of run back. I think that's what Maine wanted to do. Don't give him a chance to run that thing back long.
Well, New Hampshire has a minute 8 to put 14 points on the scoreboard. They have the ball at the 15-yard line, 85 yards away. They go right to the shotgun. Sterling's playing a deep center field. He throws a short one to Petaway. Intercepted and dropped. Oh, Johnny Morrison, the cornerback, had it and had nothing in front of him for 20 yards except touchdown.
And I think that's maybe what he was looking at. Outside linebacker, I think, actually. But watch this play. Up in the air a little bit too high. And here comes Morrison. Oh! You know, if he'd have caught that, the horses would have been out of the barn.
I'm just going to say that, Phil. 2nd and 10. Incomplete. Murphy nearly made a nice catch at the 38.
Well, you can see it all over Bob Jean's face right there. The end is near, I think, for their hopes.
57 seconds left.
It was a difficult day for New Hampshire. They just had trouble getting started. They dropped some balls, and penalties hurt them consistently this afternoon. Their defense did well, but their offense didn't get in sync until it was too late, and it's hard to play out of a big deficit.
3rd and 10. Incomplete. 4th and 10. 51 seconds remaining.
And the other thing I think...
Oh, on the bench, they got the Gatorade coming after Murphy.
Uh-oh. There's Bobby Wilder down there.
Bobby Wilder, dressed like the Sheik. Behind him in the back of that pack is a guy with a towel on his head.
There
it goes.
Oh! Does that mean the horse is out now?
The horse is out of the game. Tim Murphy, first-year head coach of the Maine Bears.
I'm so happy for him and his staff. One of the hardest working staffs around. And
well, you know, I had a chance to meet with both staffs this week as we watched New Hampshire's 4th down attempt.
4th and 10 is the pass. It's complete to Olds. Olds at the 35, gets up close to the 40-yard line. He's out of bounds and stop the clock with 45 seconds remaining.
It's very impressive how sophisticated these staffs are. Mark Whipple, the offensive coordinator for New Hampshire. Jack Cosgrove worked with me a little bit on the films this week. Interestingly enough, Whipple and John Lovett, the Maine defensive coordinator, lived together when they coached at Braun.
38-yard line, 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats of New Hampshire. Bob Jean, all he can do is put it up, and that's going to be incomplete.
The one thing I wanted to mention about Tim Murphy and his staff, one thing, the honesty. I think Tim Murphy is about as down-to-earth, honest a fellow as you want to find. He had that tough decision to make the first game of the season by taking out Bob Wilder and putting in Mike Buck, and that was a tough thing to do. He made the decision. He stuck with it. He gave the reasons why, stayed with it, and when his team was 4-0, there's Bill Bowes, as we mentioned, one of the top-ranked coaches, 101 wins over 16 seasons. I'm sure he's disappointed. That's an understatement.
That's incomplete again.
But the other thing about Tim Murphy, you know, when they were 4-0, when Maine was 4-0, Tim Murphy says, hey, we're not that good a team yet. You know, we haven't played it. Well, they came back to earth a little bit in the middle of the season. Then Tim Murphy says, look, we've got the toughest part of the schedule coming up. We've got Connecticut, we've got Delaware, we've got New Hampshire. He said, if we can keep the turnovers down and play solid football, we'll be all right. And boy, they've done that.
Well, and New Hampshire played the easiest part of their schedule first. That was advantageous as they got to build this momentum that they brought in here today.
Here's the home run bomb intended for Braun, and it's incomplete, broken up by Rob Sterling at the last minute down inside the 15-yard line. Covered there by Petaway, Sterling, Keith James in the area. It'll set up 4th down and 10.
You know, if they catch that ball, throw this one in, it's 28-21, the onsides kick it, they get one last shot. That would mean the horses aren't out of the barn.
We've got to bring the horses back and feed them again.
Put that horse away, huh?
It's like feeding it. Anyway, 4th and 10 from the 38-yard line. Motion all over the place. Mark Lewis, who has been starting nose guard for the last 3 or 4 weeks, is seeing his first action tonight. Peter Rogulski, the 5'10", 226-pound sophomore, started and played an outstanding ball game.
Nice job, very nice job. And as we look ahead now, and I think that's probably safe to do at this point.
Sure.
The horse has left the barn, right?
Yes,
we all agree on that now, right?
Oh, Murphy gets doused again. No, who is that? John Levitt?
I think it.
4th and 15.
Bob Potts, wasn't it? Was it Bob Potts down there?
4th and 15 from the 33. Gene. It's going to be... No, he's not. He gets away. Rolls to his left. Under a lot of pressure. Throws across the field. Intended for Olds. Knocked down. No flag. 14 seconds remaining. There is a flag. Way back at the 42-yard line.
Look at that. Sterling and Olds. You see them?
That'll probably be... It is against New Hampshire.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Look at Maine celebrate there on the sidelines. They are some happy, and justifiably so.
Now they just have to run out the clock now. Don Moore's holding up the trophy.
Don's only a sophomore. He'll be back. What a great guy who's done so much for UMaine athletics. He's got the Alumni Association moving, and that's very important. Maine people are quiet people. We don't do a lot of rah-rah, and Moores gets out there and mixes it up, and he's helped the university, especially in southern Maine. He's a Portland attorney.
A big come-from-behind win over Connecticut, a big come-from-behind win over Delaware, and a simple beating of New Hampshire this afternoon here in Portland. Maine has a share of the Yankee Conference, and they deserve it.
It's all over. The University of Maine Black Bears have defeated the University of New Hampshire Wildcats 28-14. Maine wins co-championship of the Yankee Conference, sharing it with the Richmond Spiders. To New Hampshire. Many felt that New Hampshire might be actually the best team in the Yankee Conference. Not this afternoon.
Well, as a matter of fact, I think Tim Murphy even said that. He said on film and in preparation for New Hampshire, I don't think he was just, just saying that. I think he really felt that New Hampshire had the best talent, and they went out and beat him. And I just can't say enough about the Maine team. They deserve everything they get. They're a hard-working team, and they are one emotional bunch down there. Take a look at Serge Hebra. I tell you.
Well, that's exactly what the Maine team is. They are an emotional team, and they have peaks and they have valleys because emotions run hot and cold. I didn't see how they were going to beat New Hampshire. I think Ford being out was important.
Sure. I mean, there's no question. Ford was the second best runner in the country, averaging 126 yards a game or whatever. Hey, look at Murphy. Look at Murphy up on the shoulders there. Isn't that a great scene? What?
Yankee Conference champions.
And maybe a Division I AA playoff.
Listen to Murphy. This is what they do after every win in the locker room.
At least they're good football players. The final again, the UMaine Black Bears 28, the New Hampshire Wildcats 14. For Dale Knopfman, Bill Green, I'm Bruce Glazier, returning you now to our kickoff 87 anchor desk and Rich Kimball. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Well, stand and drink a toast once again. The Maine Black Bears, co-champions of the Yankee Conference, with that 28-14 win this afternoon. The celebration continues at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Other celebrations, too, to 28-14. It was an exciting game. The Black Bears, with the lead at halftime, led all the way in this game, but it took some big plays down the stretch to pull it up. Let's look at a couple of highlights from the second half. Mike Buck had another outstanding day at quarterback. 18 touchdowns on the year. That's number 18 to Maine's all-time leading receiver, Serge Hebra. The Maine fans loved it and loved the defense even more as the Black Bear D came through today. 4th and 3 late in the game. Bob Jean's pass is deflected. It's incomplete, and the Black Bears take the victory 28-14 this afternoon and capture a share of the Yankee Conference crown. Some other college scores this afternoon.
Maine Jordan's Meats Fall Classic has been brought to you by Jordan's Meats, celebrating 6 decades of leadership. Your New England Ford dealers. Number 1 knows New Englanders better. Coca-Cola, catch the wave. Coke. By the Portland Press Herald, Evening Express, and the Maine Sunday Telegram, bringing you every play, every day. Bonanza of Maine. Levinsky's, we've lowered our prices before Christmas. And by the Maine Dodge dealers, it's gotta be a Dodge.